Hi YouTube, welcome to Pagan Perspective. This is Megan, aka Severity, and today is Friday. Hi guys, so I am so sorry I missed last week. I totally thought it was subs week and I totally missed, so I'm sorry. So I will, at the end of this video, I will answer the goals question from last week. So, but just to get right into it for this week, we have a question about basically magic and kind of, you know, when people are asking you, you know, well, can you do this and can you do that and what is that and sort of how do we deal with the stereotype, right? That, which is turn people into frogs and fly on broomsticks, that sort of thing. So I'm going to address that. So basically, when I view any of this sort of other realm, I guess, the movie magic or special effects or whatever it might be, or in, you know, cultural references, stories, things like that. For me, I like to basically say that that's sort of the movie magic of it all, right? So that's sort of the term that I apply to it, where that's your, you know, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That's your Bewitched, right? That's even to a huge degree Harry Potter, right? Especially I think Harry Potter in a way that, because they used witchcraft and they completely separate it from the religion, right? Where a show like Charmed showed that there was, you know, that they're linked, right? Now, Charm didn't get everything right, not by any stretch of the imagination. However, they tried. You know what I mean? There was at least some combination. Same thing with the movie Practical Magic, and also Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, right? So like not Buffy herself, but Willow, really tried to bring the religious part of it into the sort of fancy for show, for money magic, right? The lights, camera, magic action, right? So, you know, here's where it stands. You know, as far as turning someone into a toad, you know, I can't do that. Here's the thing, I've never had the desire and I've never tried. So I can say that, so maybe can't is the wrong word, because I don't like the word can't, and I don't truly believe that anything is out of the realm of possibility. However, I would be willing to bet money, right, that, and so I guess I could always be wrong, but I'd be willing to bet money that I am incapable of turning someone into a frog. So that's sort of where the way I look at it is, I think that in this world there are amazing things, and I never ever want to limit human beings, or any beings really. I never want to limit us to saying that this is the way it is and it can only be that way, right? Because we've proven time and again that something that might seem fantastical, you know, wait enough years and science or somebody discovers something that now all of a sudden it's not that fantastical, you know? I mean, if you had told me when I was younger that, you know, and I mean much younger, this was before cell phones, when, you know, I still had my corded phone, right? Like, you could get cordless phones, you absolutely could. But if you had told me that I would basically have a computer in my hand that I would use all day long, right? Or that I'd be filming, like now filming a video on, that I would then post on something called the internet, right? Which the internet was around at that point, but it wasn't like I knew that. Like I knew it was for the computer people, right? So if you had told me that, I would have been like, what? Now, I wouldn't have not believed you, but at the same time, it would have been out of sort of my everyday scope of what I think about. Now, my wildest dreams, sure, I can think of a lot of things in my wildest dreams, but in those normal everyday dreams, it wouldn't have been this. And so, and here we are, now I'm filming on a phone, you know? So it's just something that I feel like things that we might think are impossible now, who knows what they could be later on. However, if it if we're talking about what we are right now, right? For me, and I talk about this a lot, that it's really important to bring religion back into the wordage, right? When it comes to paganism, witchcraft for me, because to me, the religious side of witchcraft, my family's tradition, is so important. Like, that is so important to say that word, and that's just for me. It might not be for other people, but for me, it's crucial. And so I very much enjoy, watching films that try at least to bring that in. Now, I know I've sort of resigned myself to the fact that there's always going to be something fantastical, because the reality is that people pay money for that and they want to go see it, and it's fun to see. It's you know, I mean, anytime entertainment is, fantastical, it always sparks interest, right? I mean, that's just part of what makes it entertaining. I mean, you can go to a comedy to laugh, you go to, a drama to feel emotionally, connected and everything. And then, you go to a sci-fi or a fantasy movie so that you can be amazed and whoa, that's so cool. And, and maybe they got some drama and some comedy thrown in, and all of that. And so I think, one thing to keep in mind is, the thing that I like to caution people about is believing that is reality. Because I think that's where I get so frustrated, is when people actually believe that that's reality when it so clearly isn't, right? They'll even say, like, well, do you think you can fly, or do you think you can do, and it's like, really? Like, they don't even step back for a second and listen to themselves in their head before they speak, and I think, unfortunately, speaking before thinking is sort of a epidemic, you could say, nowadays. So I don't expect that to change anytime soon, but it definitely can be frustrating. And so I reconcile it with just, if I have enough strength, if I have, enough energy that day to engage, then I will let them know exactly what witchcraft is about, what paganism is about. If I don't have enough energy, I just let it go, because sometimes you just have to just let it go. I'm not going to spend my energy on somebody who doesn't really want to know, the truth. They're just trying to egg you on or something. And so the way I deal with that, I think the only thing that gets me really frustrated is when they portray the religion wrong. So, like, I love the movie The Craft. Okay, I love it. I thought it was great, as far as an entertainment value movie. And there's some really funny moments, right? And I appreciated that they were trying to do something. And I know they even hired a consultant. My biggest problem with it, though, was actually a choice they made. And so some people are going to disagree with me. Some people are going to like this, and other people will agree with me probably. So they created a god, right? An ultimate god called Mano, right? For the movie. And that was on purpose. So they hired a consultant and they created this god so that it was brand new for the movie, and that it wouldn't be kind of using any established gods. So I know that they were trying to do it to be respectful. However, the problem is it spread misinformation, because The Craft kind of became this, like, almost like a how-to guide for teenage witches, you know what I mean? And a lot of people still look to that as their information on Wicca in a lot of ways. And that's really problematic, because they literally had something in there that was entirely made up for the movie. So I had a big problem with that. I would have really rather had them just use, the god and the goddess, especially because they used just one. And that really bothered me, because the essence of paganism is the duality, right? And poly, right? And so the idea, that it was just this one god. Now, yes, they did make a reference to the fact that this god in The Craft was bigger than the god and the devil in Christianity, but it was still monotheistic. It's still one god, right? And a male god at that. So we lost the goddess in that movie, and I really miss that. I feel like that was an opportunity to reclaim that the god and the goddess in that moment, and really show the religion for in its polytheistic nature, and they missed that. So that was kind of a bummer for me. I mean, I love that, the scene with light as a feather, stiff as a board, and can't tell you how many times I've played it. And here's the thing, I I'm never gonna speak about super personal experiences as far as a practice goes in that way. However, what they experienced is not impossible. So, I think that we just need to keep in mind sometimes that even the things that maybe seem impossible might not be impossible. There's just some that are not super practical, right? Which is practical magic's standpoint, right? Well, they had that kind of extreme at the ending there where they had to bring in some flash, right? But I really enjoyed a lot of the things at the beginning too, that were much more practical in nature, and I liked that. So that's sort of how I feel about that topic. And then on the goals, like what are my goals for the upcoming year? My goals, my goodness. My goals are to, well, I don't know. What do you guys think? So I changed my hair. So that was a little bit fun. But I was thinking of auditioning for a play. I'm not sure, maybe. It's for cabaret, so I'd be auditioning for the role of Sally Boyles. So I don't know if you think I could pull it off, but so yeah, I was thinking about doing that, and just sort of getting our life going. The Etsy shop, and just everything happening. I think we really want to make a point this year to enjoy where we're living more, because we've worked so much that we haven't had a chance to really explore this amazing place that we live as much as we'd like to. We just a weekend or so ago got to swim for my wife's birthday underneath a waterfall, which was phenomenal, you know what I mean? And we had the place all to ourselves. It was so wonderful. Such an amazing, amazing time. And it's 10 minutes from our house. We've been here like a year and a half, and it's 10 minutes from our house, and it's the first time we've been. So we're gonna try and go back. So we just need to find ways to make sure we make that time, that special time. And really, make our life extraordinary, which is what we wanted to do when we came here. So that's sort of my goals. And spiritually, we're trying to really get going with the practice. My wife is learning a lot, and so I am kind of bringing her into that. So we're doing a lot, like she's having to do a lot of work on that. So we're going through a whole training process. So spiritually, we'll be working quite a bit. We did a Samhain ritual with a friend that we met here that was beautiful. And so we're really hoping that for solstice, we can do something else and just make it really, really special. So so those are the goals, and I think that's about it. So I think I covered the topics. So, as always, guys, blessed be and aloha.